¿Qué onda, Hugo? ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo te va? ¿Qué dices? Diego, saludos hasta Perú. ¿Cómo andas? Voy a empezar optimizando un poquito la escena porque está muy pesada, entonces hay algunas cosas como que me di cuenta que está muy denso este mesh. So I'm gonna start cleaning up this a little bit because no, not duplicate, delete. It's quite heavy, the scene now. So let's start by actually didn't like this, so I'm just gonna remove them. With smooth. So just a reminder, everybody, this today is gonna be in English. The Spanish stream was last week, and it's gonna be also next week. So still feel free to ask questions in like whatever language you want. It's okay, or comment stuff. I don't mind at all. Okay. Thank you, and greetings all the way to Brazil. Thanks, man. Okay, so I'm just trying here to erase this area that I didn't really like. It's quite dense. Just a quick smooth, and then gonna turn off the sculptures for a moment, just to fix this part, because I think it looks much better this way. And yeah, I didn't really like the way it looked before, and we can just maybe exaggerate this a little bit to get the exact shape, or to better merge these shapes to the other sculpt. Hey, Frederick. If by FX assets you mean like cinematics or VFX or like stuff like that, it's usually super high res stuff, super detailed, super carefully planned. What's the word? Yeah, like hero assets. So it's usually a very careful and structured approach to work. It's more systematic, less intuitive, less maybe not intuitive, but less spontaneous. I'm just going to duplicate this one and create a ZRemesh of that, because I really want to reduce the resolution in some areas. The Sculptris Pro was really nice just to explore the shapes, but it's getting a little bit heavy, so just gonna ZRemesh real quick. And see what the result is. So we have to wait. How's everybody doing today? Weather is super crazy here. It's super hot. It's very weird because yesterday was raining and then pretty hot and with the sun, and Not complaining, but sometimes it's crazy. So just wait until this thing finishes the remesh. Okay, so here it is. And as you can see, I got a pretty okay result. Could be better, but it's pretty okay. And managed to reduce the amount of polygons from like almost 300,000 to 5,000. So it's a good step. But what I'm gonna do is using the Sculptris Pro, just gonna smooth a little bit the details, because I don't really want them to appear that much in the remesh, because I'm gonna project them later. So this is a good way to further reduce the details. Just smoothing the details a little bit. So I think this is okay. A little bit more in here. Now let's go again with the remesh. So this is the detail piece, and this is the other one. Let's remesh this one. So it should be faster this time. And let's wait. It's the fun times with ZRemesh, the waiting. The waiting. Okay, so as you can see now, it's actually much better. It's almost like 1,000 points lighter. And now I don't have those details in the topology. I just have like the main shapes. This is perfect because now I can start projecting stuff. It's just a very simple way to clean up things. Just go here to project, and then subdivide, project, subdivide again, and project, and so on until I reach roughly either the level of detail that I need or the previous resolution, but with much cleaner topology. Because for the system, I don't know if you guys noticed this. This is a quick tip on why you should always try to keep your meshes with subdivision as much as possible. Like Sculptris Pro is super good for sculpting, especially if you don't have like a supercomputer with a lot of processing power. If you're sculpting just with Sculptris Pro and suddenly it starts getting heavy or whatever, it's because you only have like one subdivision level. You can see it here in this mesh. I have roughly 300,000 points with no subdivisions, and this is because the resolution was adjusted as I was sculpting it. So it's pretty heavy, and navigation it's rough for the system, and I can get the same amount of detail and even the same resolution. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but like for example with this one, which is the cleaner topology, as I'm rotating or navigating, moving the camera, the resolution goes down. And this means that ZBrush is using the lower subdivision levels to increase the performance. So you should always try to keep them or create them if you start getting performance issues. So let's just project again. Now I have almost the same amount of detail. I mean the same amount of resolution. So with this last project should be fine. I should need more than that. And even if I had greater resolution, I would still have like roughly better performance. Rotating this one, you guys can see that it's much faster to just navigate and manipulate it than with this one. It's a little bit clunkier, and it's because of the subdivision level. So quick tip with that, just turn off this one now, and keep this one here. Still could use another subdivision level just to reproject things. Yeah, let's do it again. Project. Again. And this time we wait because it's heavier here. Yeah, now we have to be patient here. Okay, so it's done. And now I should be having, yeah, most of the detail with much better performance. So now I can start detailing here. So in this case, I just want to, where is this? Here. I want to focus just in this piece on the connection between the legs and the lower torso. And it's very important here to note something, like I'm working again just with regular brushes. If I were to turn on the Sculptris Pro mode again, it will start, it will tell me that the mesh is not, that I have subdivision levels, that I have to erase them. So in this case, I'm sort of protected against that. Hey Arham, I hope I pronounced your name right. I'm sorry. Hello. Thanks for watching, guys. So this is the lower torso that Oscar did, and I'm just trying to figure it out how to just add detail to it. What other things I could try and build here. Sometimes I just like to go with lower subdivisions, then higher again. In this case, it's sometimes helpful to just try to visualize this from farther away, because it gives you like a better idea without too much detail before committing a lot of the way. Let's just try and visualize these things. Hello. Hola, hola. ¿Cómo están? How's life going for everybody? Just try to play with some shapes here. Trying to find something cool looking. It's kind of stretching a little bit, but it's not too bad. Nothing we can't fix. Just trying to make this bony section stand out more. I'm gonna activate the Acu curve for this one, for the move brush, to move a few points here and there. Create more tension. Hola. ¿Qué onda, Big Dog? ¿Cómo andas? Sapna, hello. Hello, everybody. Yeah, much better. Oh, these auto saves, man. What's happening? What is happening, man? I try not to think too much, and at the same time think like in what exactly I'm trying to do. Because I think for complex shapes, sometimes if you think too much, you tend to do stuff like pretty safe, and but also like I still want them to function, to make sense in the whole of the things. So it's like a weird combination between not really thinking about it and really thinking about it. Gracias, man. Te lo agradezco mucho. No, pues cuando gustes, Kyle. Se pone bueno. Just detailing stuff here. Adding more shapes. Just think that look cool. Same thing goes for here. Standard brush is really good for detailing very subtle things. I find the standard brush to be very advanced and very easy at the same time. Like it's one of the first brushes you start using, and then you sort of move on from it, but then you come back to it again later because it's really good for different sorts of uses. Hey Andre, what's up? Nice to see you here, man. How's it going? So I'm just trying to accentuate the little details a little bit. So read from afar a little bit better. It's a bunch of brushes that would work well here. For example, the inflate one, it's really useful for this sort of stuff. Like if I just want like to accentuate things in the sculpt without actually resculpting them, the inflate one it's a really good brush to just give volume. It's very subtle stuff, but I think it works really good. And also like let's save the hotkeys now. Where is it? Here. I was liking a lot this shape the other day, but I think this has become a little bit stale. So I'm going to try and maybe create something more dynamic here. So I don't know. I'm not even sure if it's gonna work or not. Like a more open fit kind of thing. Have to check. Also, this is the old one. Let's turn it off. No, I don't think it's working. Let's go back. Here. Maybe just try to accentuate those shapes. And then from the side. Just work a little bit here, a little bit more here on the union of the shapes. Sometimes this is the one of the most, well, at least, well, for me, one of the most rewarding parts of the process. Sorry, like just detailing stuff, but it's also like it could be sometimes tedious and sometimes really slow, because you might try different things and maybe they work, maybe they don't. So it's a good thing to just try and keep things fresh. Let's do a save, quick save. back to it. Whoa. Let's go back to the white. Liking the way this looks. That's interesting. Just trying to see what parts are gonna be visible and what parts are not. So you're no longer, I'm just gonna delete you. Delete this one. Get more detail done in here. ¿La vez pasada o cuándo fue eso? Bueno, lo de mi interfaz lo tengo en mi Gumroad. Entonces, si buscas Gumroad slash José Rosales Art, debe de salir ahí, pero ya se las paso en este momento. Lo que pasa es que no tengo muchas cosas, pero listo. Y para los de YouTube... Ah, no, entonces sí tiene rato. Sí, lo que pasa es que voy a hacer también una para el R8, pero no la he actualizado aún. Entonces, ese es del R7. De todos modos funciona. De todos modos... déjenme por aquí. Ah, cierto que esto no me deja. Déjenme ver. Gumroad. So for the YouTube guys, I'm going to share my Gumroad. It's going to be... I promise to have it on the interface for next stream. So it's gumroad.com/Jose Rosales Art. There it is. Perfect. Awesome, guys. ¿Qué onda, aprendiz? Porque de hecho tengo dos streams. ¿Por qué incongruencia? No me parece. Lo que pasa es que tengo dos streams con Pixologic. Una semana es en español, que fue la semana pasada, y una semana es en inglés, que es esta. En inglés estoy haciendo la colaboración con Óscar y es el pass de Sculpt. Entonces él hace una parte del Sculpt y yo hago la otra. Nos vamos turnando, nos vamos alternando entre piezas. Y en las semanas, mis streams personales, trabajo en diferentes proyectos. Esos son en español. No sé por qué dices lo de incongruencia. Me parece a mí que está bastante padre tener como la flexibilidad de poder hacerlo para ambas audiencias. Conozco gente en Latinoamérica que me ve que no le domina todavía el inglés y se le hace bastante útil. Y también pues hay gente en inglés que le interesa de repente ver nuestra chamba. Entonces está bien darle por los dos lados. So I was just explaining, guys, that I have two streams. So this is the English stream. Feel free to ask questions and comments in Spanish or whatever language you guys, well, maybe not whatever language, but if you guys speak Spanish, feel free to do it. It's okay by me. It's just that the main language for these streams is in English, the Past the Sculpt one. And then every other week I have my personal stream, which is in Spanish, but I also have like people who speak English all the time there, so it's okay. It's like I like the bilingual streams. So I think this is looking good. For the part of the legs. I'm trying to make this look like a bone covered with skin. Like to make it look like it's a bone protruding outside of the body. To make it look like skin here. I think that's enough with this. Let's try and separate this in polygroups. So I'm gonna use the polygroup it, but with a color. So I'm just gonna subdivide a little bit more here. And then just switch to the standard RGB. And I'm going to use the lazy mouse. Just adjust the lazy radius a little bit. Gonna adjust the size here. And what I'm gonna do with this is separate it into pieces. So it can be a bit tedious, but it's gonna look cool. Just have to have a little bit of patience when trying to do these things. I'm just gonna alternate here. Clean it up a little bit. There you go. And I just noticed that I had symmetry turned off, but it's okay. You can just mirror it afterwards. Sometimes hard to find the correct angle to do these things. Something like this. Now I want this whole section to be the same piece, so there you go. Then for here, I'm just gonna leave this this whole piece as it is, maybe just sculpt a little bit here to give it more volume. Just the front that's important for me. And then what I'm gonna do is let's turn this off. Go to where was this thing? Oh, I forgot, where is this thing? It's in polygroups. I could use the polypaint, but no, I wanna. Oh, it's here. Polygroup it. I'm gonna the polygroup it from paint. But it's too. No, wait, what? Why is it doing this? I don't remember if this was the correct one. Hold on, let me check. No, not polypaint. Where was it? I'm a beginner at ZBrush and I don't know much things about sculpting. I was wondering how much time you spend on a project like this. Ooh. Well, it depends because on this one, like we've been working on this one for like 6 weeks, I think. Just like a couple of hours. Like for example, I work 3 hours one week, and then Oscar works like 3 hours next week, and so I guess a break like this could be done in a day or two if this is the only thing you do. Maybe a little bit more, but not more than a week, I think. But it really depends on like how much like you experiment and try new things with the design and technical difficulties and stuff like that. Could be a lot of things. So yeah, I don't remember where the thing was. If not, then I'm just gonna use the regular from Polypaint, which is gonna create a polygroup here. Why is it 2 colors? This is weird. I can just merge them. Hey Chandra, what's up, man? ¿Qué onda? Nice to see you here, man. Glad you made it. So now I have this separate polygroup. I want this one. So let's just split hidden. But I have subdivision levels, so I'm just gonna freeze them or delete the lower ones. So like this. And let's go and delete this half part too. So stop tool, split hidden. Oh god, this song is horrible. Let's change it. Yeah, sorry about that. It's just that I have like a generic copyright-free playlist, and sometimes the songs are horrible. Okay, so now I have this, and let's do a auto groups. So I have 3 separate polygroups here. Yeah, I think you wanted to say ¿Qué onda?, which is it's written differently, but yeah, I understand, man. It's okay. Don't worry. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to actually, let's go back and select this one. And let's duplicate it first so I have a backup. And then this one, the split hidden thing. And then the auto groups. Hey Rossi, what's up? Thanks. Glad you're here. It's always nice to be here. Delete hidden. Yeah, so now I'm just gonna use the the regular ZRemesh just to try and get these shapes. It's probably gonna be a bit high res, but it's okay. Like, let's try with I don't know, 7, and let's see, keep groups, and let's see if this thing gives us what we want. So what I want, what I'm afraid is it's about the borders, like the corners. They're always a bit tricky to get with ZRemesh, but if I increase the resolution, maybe it'll be easier. And if not, we can adjust the adaptive size and like try and experiment with it, more stuff. Hey Ben, thanks man. Appreciate it. Okay, so it's not bad. We got like a pretty high res stuff here. So these corners are okay. This one not so much. Let's try and let's go back. And then what I'm gonna do is just adjust the adaptive size. So what this thing does is it's right in the middle, right? So it means the more I increase it, the more it adjusts to the shape of the mesh that I'm trying to remesh. So like the polygons are more stretched out depending on what shapes I have. And if I go down on this slider, like closer to 0, the more, oh shit, this is gonna be, yeah, no curve strength. The more I go down with adaptive size, the more homogeneous the polygons are gonna be, like more square-ish. But the more difficult or the less it's gonna respect the shape, the more difficult it's gonna be for it to capture correctly the shape. So in this case, it's better if I go up. Let's try with, yeah, like 87, and do it again. Can I do a stream covering Dynamesh, ZRemesh, and hard surface modelers? Yeah, like, well, basically this is part of the process that I usually do. This is like an organic hard surface piece. So what I basically did here is just I painted with black color here in the borders, and then from that I created a polygroup from Polypaint, which then I hid that polygroup and just separate it. And after that, I just created different polygroups here. And what's cool here is that I can just go and so like this is fairly good. It's pretty good. There's stuff like this who might cause trouble, but a good technique that I found is to just use the If we go to edge loop, we can use group loops. Hola, ¿qué onda, Pentatena? Espero haberlo dicho bien. So we can go to group loops and, geometry, edge loop, group loops, and just put like 2 here. And then if I click here, group loops, it's gonna create a polygroup around every other polygroup. So this, in a way, helps me sort of clean stuff. I put 2, let's just go with 1. So it refines the shapes a little more, makes them look sharper. And I'm just gonna try and move this here to make it look a bit more pointy. What freeze border you mean with the ZRemesh, like here? So if you freeze border, okay, that's interesting. Let me show you with an example in a new mesh. It's gonna be very quick. I'm just going to use the Sculptris Pro mode to create some new geometry here. So let's say I have a new polygroup here. So just create a mask and oh god, these autosaves. Okay, let's create a mask, sorry, and Control W and just creates a new polygroup, right? So with this, if I then want to remesh this into something workable, I just go to ZRemesh. Let's put this back in 50, target 5. Okay, yeah. And if I click here, ZRemesh, it's just going to do like the default algorithm without changing anything, no? But then here I lost the polygroup. So what I can do, if I say keep groups, it's going to try and keep the group, but it's not gonna be exactly the same shape. You see how it like smoothed the polygroup? Looks much cleaner. If I want the exact shape, like if I want exactly this shape of these polygroups, of these polygons in the border of the polygroup, I could just go and say freeze border, and then what that does is basically the same thing, but it respects the border of wow, no, what did it do? Oh yeah, I guess this is for when, sorry, let me check. It's been a long time since I've used these things. I guess if I use the freeze border thing, it's gonna try and respect the border, but I guess this is only for when I have like, yeah, exactly, not a closed mesh. So like this type of stuff, it's gonna try and respect that to create the border. And the freeze groups basically just keeps the groups, so like protects them so they don't change. So that's it in a nutshell what it does. So it's useful to know that for when you need like to adjust. You can do it. Okay, so let's go back to this one, and I created a group loops, which gave me this loop around everything, which is very nice. Then I can just go again and I can leave it like that, or I can just go again and do a auto groups. I'm just gonna leave it like that for now, and then I'm going to try the I use the group loops. I'm just gonna use a panel loops. So what it does, it's just gonna extrude these things. And thickness, let's try with that. But let's take the polish out. Oh yeah, so the trouble here, I have to if I keep the border here with the other polygroup, what it does, it's like it creates a panel for every polygroup that I have. So it's going to separate here, like if you see, it's gonna create like an indent, which is nice, but it's not really what I need. So what I'm gonna do is go back to polygroups, just click auto groups. So I have individual polygroups again, and then I'm gonna use the panel loops. But 5 loops it's too much. Like if you see here, like let's increase the thickness. If I use panel loops with 5 loops here, it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's too much. Just usually use, let's put it at 2, and then just play with the thickness to find what works best. So like 0.022, I mean 25, sorry. This is probably like a good thing. Then what's cool is that I have the original one here in the bottom, like underneath. So there's 2 things I can do. Like if you want to adjust this manually, you can go back again and auto group things. So the auto group things, it groups everything that's connected. So now if I go to the move brush, let's keep the echo curve and let's increase the auto masking, the mask by polygroups. If I increase it to 100, it's just gonna touch one polygroup instead of moving everything. So I can adjust things much easier. So like this, it's really easy. Because sometimes it's really hard to predict what the remesh is going to do, and sometimes you lose a little bit of volume there in some areas. So with this, I'm just trying to make sure that I have like a uniform distance covered here. If I were to turn off or like to turn down to 0 the mask by polygroups, or actually not use it at all, it actually just looks like. So let me show you. Like I'm just moving everything, which I don't want. So it's really useful to have this thing here. This looks pretty good, all right. And then what I can do is, oh wait, is just take the one underneath and inflate it a little bit, but with the brush. Whoa. Oh yeah, so I have to turn off the mask by polygroup thing, and Can use both the standard and the inflate one to just create this sort of feeling effect, which is really nice. Looks a little bit more 3D than here, like here looks more plain. So it's a very cool and very easy to do set of steps or techniques, which work well for me while trying to do hard surface stuff with an organic feel. What I really love about ZBrush is that there's always more than one thing to more than one way to do a certain thing. Let's increase the intensity a little bit. As you can see now in the underneath part, you get to see this these details, which is what I want. Here I adjust the shape a little bit more. So let's go back to the move. Just correct this stuff more. Remember, it's always important to be patient. Don't rush these things. You want it to look clean for the most part. So this adds an extra level of detail to the thing. Let's go and do just turn on those two pieces for now. Just stretching here a little bit. Turn off this again. And let's keep going. And then this one, I'm just gonna subdivide. Sorry, I'm just gonna subdivide and work a little bit on this. So what's really cool, let's just turn this one on again. Where's the other stuff? ¿Qué onda, Emilio? Este pattern, de hecho fue idea de Óscar, pero se ve bastante bien. Lo que hicimos fue básicamente, vuelvo a mostrar acá con otra pieza. It's muy sencillo. It's really simple. So for the creation of the pattern, it's one of the easiest things. Just have enough resolution on the model. And what we did was just to paint a mask. So you can use whatever brush. Just paint a mask of whatever stuff you want to create. Let's just here. You have to be patient. Hay que ser pacientes con esto porque pues la máscara tiene que quedar bien, pero digo, es algo muy sencillo. So you guys, you create the mask and you have what you do is to create an extract. But in this case, what I like to do is just create a polygroup first, so I don't lose the shape. But yeah, this is basically it. So like, have this thing here. Lo que hago es nada más tener la máscara, creo el polygroup y a partir de eso puedo seleccionar el polygroup y volverlo a enmascarar todo, porque lo que voy a hacer con esto es ir a extract y extraer esa sección. Entonces aquí nada más el thickness está muy bajito. Ah, no, está bien. Con eso le doy a accept y lo que va a crear es un nuevo polygroup. Entonces tengo, perdón, un nuevo subtool. So I have here, I know I'm explaining this in Spanglish. I'm trying to do it in both. So like create a mask, extract, accept, and then you have this new subtool here. With the mask here, just erase it, delete it, and then you have the shape. You can just turn this thing off, and this has the curvature of the shape you originally created, and then you can just go and ZRemesh it. Máscara, polygroup y luego por ejemplo extract, accept, y lo que hace es crear un nuevo subtool y de este subtool borrar la máscara y luego lo que podemos hacer es un remesh para suavizar la forma, pero lo bueno es que ya tiene la forma, la curvatura de la forma original que tenía. Entonces me puedo ir acá a Geometry, ZRemesh y remeshar esto. Oh, nada más. Let me just activate symmetry because I think I did it without symmetry. Yeah, but it's okay. And here, like the extra thing I can do, let's just go with less. And that's it. It's pretty simple. The more resolution you have on the mesh and the better painted your mask is, the smoother the shapes will be. So, mientras más resolución tengas con tu mesh y mientras mejor esté pintada la máscara, va a ser más fácil y va a salir más sencillo, más limpio esta forma. ¿Funciona con un alfa? Sí, sí funciona con un alfa. Déjenme mostrarles. So if it works with an alpha, yes it does. So I go back to the original shape. I don't want this extract, so I'm just gonna let's try it here in the back. So let's say, let's go for what alpha? So like this one, which is, or let's shake the arrow. I'm gonna subdivide a bit more. What is this? Oh, I have the mask. Let's subdivide a couple more times. And then if I just use the alpha, let's go back to the circle here. If I use the alpha here, oh sorry, with a mask, oh come on. Okay, I forgot. Here, okay. So a couple of things. I was selecting the mask, but this is the sculpting brush. What I have to do it is in the mask brush. So with Control, I access the mask and change the stroke and the alpha there. So because the extract works with masks, so I change the mask there. Use the arrows, and in this case, I have a little bit of a fall off, which is gonna affect the way it extracts. Let's see. Oh, in this case, not so much. But in any case, when you paint with a mask, it usually has this fall-off thing. So you can go to alpha, here alpha, and no, sorry. Just click B for brush. No, sorry. It's a focal shift, I guess. I forgot. If I turn it to 100. Whoa. No, okay, it's the other way around. Because now I have like a almost complete fall-off. So it's focal shift to -100, I guess. Yeah. And now with this, with the focal shift, what it does is like you have basically two circles in the brush. So the innermost circle is gonna be 100% influence or effect, and the outermost circle is gonna be 0%. So you basically go from 100 to 0 in a fall off. And when you put the focal shift to 0, you basically increase the inner one to be the size of the whole brush. If you go the other way, you reduce it to almost nothing. So in Spanish, for the ones, en español, para los que me preguntaron hace rato, hay que poner el alfa en el brush de la máscara, porque extract funciona con las máscaras. Entonces al presionar control tenemos el brush de la máscara aquí, y aquí es donde cambio el stroke, el trazo, y el brush, perdón, el alfa, que en este caso voy a usar el de la flecha. Y nada más algo importante que notar es que el brush por default, todos los brushes están en 0, el focal shift. Entonces cuando yo trazo con el brush tengo un cierto fall off que difumina la máscara, en este caso. Y entonces esto es porque el cursor tiene dos círculos, uno central y uno exterior, el interno y externo. El círculo interno es 100% de la influencia y el externo es 0%. Entonces pasa del 100 al 0%, y por eso está el focal shift. Si yo lo muevo hacia -100, estoy incrementando el tamaño del círculo interno, y si lo muevo hacia 100, estoy disminuyendo el tamaño. Entonces lo voy a mandar hasta 100, a -100, perdón. Y ya con esto, with the mask, it's important. Tengo la máscara mucho más precisa. Now I have the more sharper masks. What is the pan brush, man? And then just go here and use the extract. And there you go. Accept. And now you have this mesh, and now you can use it to you can do a remesh or whatever you want to do with this. So it's pretty easy stuff. And this is the things we did. So like for all these details, that was the technique used. It's pretty easy. It looks quite good. Oscar had the idea, but I think it looked great, so I also did it here in the legs. Okay, so now going back to this piece that I had. I did a couple of divisions just to increase the resolution. And what's really cool about this is that I can just go, for example, and let's turn this 2 on again also. Like I usually like to detail stuff more by hand rather than using well, by hand I mean also using alphas and stuff like that, but like trying to put things manually. So what I would do is to just go, it's this one, yeah. No, it's this one. Like for example, I can select the ambient standard, go quite high with the intensity, and then just go to stroke and lazy mouse With L, I can turn it on and off, the lazy mouse. And they just increase the lazy radius quite a bit. Need more resolution. So it allows me to do stuff like this. Just create separation for the shapes. For example, go here, and then again here. For this one, it's really useful to have the dynamic on, because now you respect the same size of the brush. Just have to be patient because sometimes it can be a little bit slow. And you get the hang of it eventually, like it's not really hard to do. ¿Se pinta la parte de atrás del objeto cuando haces la máscara? Está raro eso. ¿Se pinta, te refieres con una máscara o como con Polygroup? César, ¿qué computadora uso? En este momento estoy usando una computadora prestada. Tuve un problema con mi máquina y tuve que mandarla a reparación. Entonces es una laptop que muy amablemente me prestó un amigo mío del trabajo. No sé cuáles sean las especificaciones de esta. La máquina que yo uso es bastante buena. Tiene un procesador i7. Es una laptop para gamers, básicamente. So I have two computers, one desktop and one laptop, and both are like gamer gear with optimized for gaming. But I found that gaming computers are really good for 3D. I've seen a lot of artists use them because of the customization and control they have with mostly the GPU and the processor. So whatever is good for gaming, it's good for 3D. So my computer broke and I had to send it back. It's arriving tomorrow, so it should be okay. I still don't know if I'm gonna have to reinstall everything. I hope not. It just was like a weird issue when it started turning. It stopped turning on for whatever reason. So I sent it to repair. I hope it's okay for tomorrow. And then if not, I have this backup one, which is not as powerful, but like for ZBrush, still gets the job done. So it's okay. So what I'm doing here is just detailing different parts, trying to separate these things a little bit more to make them look like different, how do I say, like different pieces? I don't know. Si estás haciendo eso, checa que no tengas la simetría. Por ejemplo, puede que estés pintando, haz de cuenta, si este es tu objeto, que tengas la simetría como en X, pero estés pintando de un lado y se esté pintando también del otro. Checa bien eso, checa que esté correctamente orientado, que no tengas como alguna simetría ahí rara por algún lado. Con X prendes y apagas la simetría, entonces igual y puede ser que vaya por ahí. Now I'm gonna use a mask here just to paint it. Let's go back here. Yeah, dots. Let's erase this thing. And let's go back to the focal shift to normal, because this looks weird. Es que por default siempre pinta nada más una sola parte. Checa que a lo mejor no sea como que la simetría esté pintando también del otro lado. Porque por sí solo no tendría por qué hacer eso. Just trying to come up with interesting shapes for this mask. And then I can just go and smooth a little bit. Let's go one level down or two. Smooth this thing. Go back. Wow, this is taking a lot of time. And then just use the gizmo. If I used alt click here, it's automatically going to align to the normal of the surface. So I can just elevate this detail like this. I just try and smooth it a little bit. And there's a bunch of stuff you can do with this. So like stuff like this and trying to sorry, escaping me. I'm sorry. To try to just cover with details this piece. And let's for example take this mask here. So it's important to have clean masks. And again, just let's go a couple of levels down to smooth it. Okay, so this is gonna be tricky because I didn't do the mask for both of them. So here, for example, I need to clear up a little bit more here. Maybe it's better if I do it one by one. In Farsi, yeah, go ahead, man. It's just I don't speak Farsi, so I probably won't understand what you're saying. So for this one, I might need to have the resolution a bit tighter for the mask to work. So just go one level up again. And also there's the issue that the remesh gave me some weird things here, but it can work. Take care of this one here. Where's the other? Yeah, here it is. Let's erase that. Now just smooth this a little bit. And yeah, in this case, this one looks sharper because I had more resolution. So just, well, it depends. If you wanted this to look sharper and like smoothing upwards, I don't know how to say it. It works better if the resolution is higher, so the mask doesn't get as smooth as here. It depends on what you want. Like this, there's a lot of options you can use for this. And then I can just take the Dame standard again. Just this is difficult. Try and paint here like a border, not so close. I don't know if it looks good or not. No, I think it doesn't. So let's leave it like that. But you can use it in reverse to create these cool effects. And now just smooth it a little bit. And like it's I really like this type of hard surface because it's a combination of like organic sculpting and then or manual sculpting and then some other techniques. Very simple ones, but very effective ones. And you get this not that clean look anymore, which I think it's really cool. The details like pop up more. And yeah, I don't know. Let's see what else we can put in here. Thinking doing the same thing from here in this side. Like, well, in this case should be bigger. Yeah, the concave and convex max options also work. You're right. You're right, man. So yeah, there's pretty much a lot of things you can do here. Let's create a mask here. Let's see what this looks like. And then I want to basically inflate this. I want it to be like a second layer of stuff. Let's go back to the standard one here. Return the focal shift to normal. And just resculpt here. And now just use the trim dynamic to trim a bit of the excess excess fat of the shape to make it a bit more smooth. So yeah, this looks good. And then this one I don't need anymore. What is this? Yeah, I don't need this one anymore. So let's delete it. This one I also don't need anymore. Oh no, wait, shit. I do need it one. That one. Oh man, I erased the wrong piece. Okay, let's let me save. No, wait, what did happen? Yeah, I erased the wrong shape. Got confused there. Let me save this one and go back. To the latest autosave. That's actually something that's a bit dangerous with ZBrush. If you delete a subtool, it's really difficult to get it back again. So be careful with that. Bunch of stuff here. Oh no. I was supposed to do the autosave. Let's see if this one saved it. I hope it does. And that's Dropbox doing a backup, so let's syncing. So the good thing is it saves the whole session. So yeah, I got the shape back. I just lost all the detail. So be careful with that, guys. It's okay. Got the shape back here, so I'm just gonna clone it. And load the latest one again. Yeah, this stuff happens all the time. I think we have all made this type of mistakes, so just try and be careful with this. So append, I'm going to append this one, and that's it. So now just save again. But it's okay, we can do the details again. It's no problem. Oh, and yeah, I forgot to tell you guys, I normally stream for 3 hours. From 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. Today I might have to cut it a bit shorter because I'm moving on Thursday to a new apartment. So I'm going to go and like I'm gonna like be moving some stuff today, so I might have to cut it a bit shorter. I forgot to tell you in the beginning, but maybe like a half an hour, so it's no big deal. Okay, so going back to this thing. Now let's keep detailing. And I had the dame standard here with the lazy mouse thing. which is really cool for this type of stuff. Just like quick separation of the shapes. I really like doing this. I really like creating details in this way. I feel they look really nice and clean. Then you can do pretty much anything you want. This one is tricky. In fact, let's use a mask and elevate this one up a little bit. So in a way, it was like a good thing because that I erased the piece, because now I can just change it up a little bit. And once you've done it, you can do it again anytime. Let's turn off the lazy mouse. Just use. ¿Qué onda, man? ¿Cómo andas? Just use the regular damp standard here to make it look not so clean. And then what I can do here is just take the other one, the one underneath, and just inflate. Inflate these parts to make them stand out. Can also subdivide that. Vientos, vientos, man. ¿Cómo te va? ¿En qué andas chambeando? Muchas gracias, man. Se agradece bastante. Siempre es cool cuando pasan a saludar los compas. Okay, so I'm trying to just create something interesting here. I don't know if it's, yeah, I think it looks okay. The transpose tool, yeah, this is It's tricky at the beginning, man. But don't worry about it. Like the newer versions don't even have that. They just have the gizmo. Well, no, they do. They actually do. Like if you press Y, you get the transpose tool. And the always the difference I make is between the gizmo and the transpose is that the gizmo is really good for quick and easy things, like just basic move, rotate, and scale. It's much easier with the gizmo than with the transpose tool. But the transpose tool has some other functionalities that the gizmo doesn't. So, like for example, let's show you again with a new piece of geometry. No, not export. So, like for example, the gizmo can rotate, scale, move, just the basic stuff. But the transpose, actually, like with this thing, I can do stuff like this, for example, because every circle has different properties. So like for move, I can move the one with the mid circle, or I can, like for example, scale it in a way. But I can like put it whatever I want, and that's gonna be my like pivot for the scale, and I can do stuff like this, who also deforms it and creates different things. Like in the, for example, the scale, you use this is your pivot, and you use this one for the main scale. But you can also use this one and do it like perpendicular. So you got a lot of extra functionalities that you don't normally have with the gizmo. And then, for example, rotate, you can put the pivot there and rotate it this way, but also rotate it this way around the pivot that you selected. So I think the transpose still has a lot of uses. I still use it. Certainly less so, because the how do I say it? Most of the time I'm just moving, rotating, and scaling things. So the functionality of the gizmo is much better for that, but then for more specific stuff, I still use the transpose. I still like it. Recommend using both. And then from here, I can just go and, like for example, select an alpha and start doing like smaller details. It's actually pretty easy. And then, I don't know, for example, if I select this one, you can also do like interesting stuff with this. Oh, let's just take the fall off away. Oh, this is a bit sharp. Yeah, no, this alpha is not really working here. Maybe we can go. No, I think that's okay. I was gonna subdivide it a bit more, but I think it's okay. And also the lazy mouse is pretty amazing for like controlled strokes. So I also use it all the time, because it allows you to like pause mid-stroke and then change direction pretty easily, and then go here and complete that stroke. Something like this. So I'm just gonna create a new shape here. Just get creative with this stuff. And it's all like one mesh, so this one, it's all one mesh. And it's all sculpted, and at the end, depending on how clean you want this to be, you can like maybe try and do some manual modeling with T-Modeler for some of the stuff. You can use the booleans, you can use the alphas, you can use the insert project primitive. You can do a bunch of stuff. It's just want this to look like a cushion in a way. Like it has this cushion here. Hey Patricio, the advantage is topology scaling using the transpose tool. I don't understand what you're saying. Transformation using masking with the gizmo still pose. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just I really like the all the options that ZBrush give to not have to relinquish your old workflow. If you see, they never almost like practically they never remove stuff. They only add. So if you feel comfortable doing one thing one way, you can keep doing that thing that way. Like for example, you can still use the like the 2.5D brushes here, which I've never seen anyone use them. I've seen old artworks with ZBrush, but like nowadays it's mostly a relic from the past. But they're still there, so what was I gonna do here? Ah, yeah. Yeah, something like that. Not too complicated, not too shabby. Let's use the alphas again. Hey, what's up? Yeah, very easy stuff like that. So now I'm just going to mirror this thing into one subtool. Yes. Still copying. Let's wait. Hope this doesn't crash. Okay, perfect. I got scared for a moment. What is this? Come on, ZBrush. Come on, come on. Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to save so I don't lose. Let's see how it looks with everything turned on. So it might not look like the silhouette didn't change at all. If I look it from afar, it looks the same. But what's cool is that now I can use all these patterns and design and separation to change different colors to materials with the render and stuff like that. And that you actually notice. So it's subtle, but it's there. This one, let's turn off dynamic. This one I am gonna try and mirror and weld. Which, if you go to the formation, just no geometry, modify topology, sorry, and then use mirror and weld. This one, I mean, it's not gonna weld anything because it's not in the I have nothing in the center, but it's still going to mirror things. Hey Sandro, good night. Hello. Patricio, quick question. How was the approach you used to create the mesh with the pattern? Did you use alphas? No, we didn't use alphas. We just painted masks. Let me just mirror this thing and I'll show you again. Oh wait, so it went the other way. Never mind. Let's get rid of this thing. And delete hidden. Then use again the mirror. Yeah. No, so basically it was just an extract. It's really easy to do. Just the thing we did was just to have like a normal stroke, paint the alpha, or I mean the mask, however way you want it. Just be careful of doing a clean mask. The more resolution you have and the cleaner your mask is, the better. So basically you do this, create the mask, and then go to subtool, extract, and then just extract that. In this case, the thickness it's a bit too much, so let me isolate this piece, and the thickness, let's go to 0.05. Oh well, no, 0.005, and then you get the extract. If you like it, if you want it to keep it, just click accept, and it creates a new subtool with the extractor. So it's here. Now you can use it for whatever. It's like the extract method is one of the most popular to use in ZBrush for almost everything. Like I've seen artists use them to create clothes, Like for example, you have a base mesh of a human being, and then just paint the mask of what the shirt would look like, and then just extract it, and then from there just sculpt it and remesh it and whatever. It's a very easy way to create new meshes from existing ones. I still think it's really useful. I still use it a lot, and yeah, a lot of people that I know still use it. So let's just save again. Yeah, no worries. Glad it helps. It's actually very easy. So I'd like to do the same thing that I did here, sort of, in this piece. I don't think I'm gonna have time today to complete it, but let's keep let's start it. So maybe at least separate it. Oh wow, what did I do? Oh no, what did I do? I think I deleted it again by accident. But it's cool because I have it here. Yeah. Subdivide a couple of times. Use the RGB method again to paint. So what I'm gonna do is to paint the border. I don't know what's up with this brush. Let me reset it. Just the current brush. Let's go to Lazy Mouse. Take care, man. It was cool to see you here. See you tomorrow. I'm gonna beat you at ping pong tomorrow, man. Take care. Okay, so now don't forget to turn on the symmetry, which last time was what screw me and this. This one is still too. It's very thick, so let's reduce the draw size still more. Yeah, something like this. This is gonna be tricky because the back part it's not very well defined, so let's do it like this. It's also gonna be hard with pointy stuff. Let's see how the remesh takes it. Hopefully good. Sometimes it's a bit tedious and certainly boring, but it has to be done. For this one, let's turn off the lazy radius. It's the lazy mouse, sorry. It's much easier. I might have to change my pen tip soon. For the first time in like 9 years, because it's starting to be hard to paint the thin strips. Well, let's see. Let's also separate this thing. Now this is tricky. I don't know what to do here. Let's leave it like that for now, and duplicate this one. Just go to polygroups and from polypaint. Now I have this polygroup. Modify topology and delete hidden. And now go to polygroups and auto groups. Just merge these ones. Basically all the mirror ones, let's merge them into the same polygroup. Like that, and then I'm going to try and do the remesh thing. So ZRemesher, turn on the adaptive, and the target poly count around there, somewhat high, otherwise it's gonna be hard to conserve the shapes. I'm especially concerned about the tips, so these pointy edges, those pointy borders, let's see how well it does with that. Hey Ben, you're welcome, man. I'm glad it's useful. It's always nice to know it's helping. Thank you so much, man. So as I told you guys, I might have to cut it a bit short today. I have to go buy some stuff for the move and to finish packing and to move some stuff. So just gonna cut it in like about 15 minutes or so. But it's still there's still enough time to try and finish this thing to make the new remesh, make the shapes cover correctly. Let's see if it works. What is this mask? Oh. No. It was looking really weird. What is this? Ah, yes, okay. So it seems that I need to have more resolution here. So let's increase the, even though I had the adaptive size on. Oh, and let's skip groups. Let's increase this thing for, I don't know, 10. Let's try again. Because I have forgotten to put the keep groups thing together. Come on, ZRemesh, come on. That's one of the reasons I don't really like to do ZRemesh stuff while on the stream, because I think it's boring to troubleshoot these problems. Like you test it for the first time and then you don't get the result you want. You have to adjust and correct and tweak and then do it again, and it takes time. So it's a process, but it's, I don't think, that interesting to see. Let's see. Okay, this is much better than the last one. Now I have, this is actually pretty good. It's actually really good. I got the border correctly, and so yeah, for this stuff you actually have to go like pretty high with the remesh, and not be afraid to actually like increase the resolution. And then the other thing I did after this one was where's this thing? Edge loop, and then create a group loops. If you see, these things reset by subtool. So even though I already did it with the previous subtool and I had the settings and all that, so this is a new subtool, so I have to do it again. It's group loops. I was gonna do just one loop and decrease the polish. I don't remember if to 0, but let's try it. Yeah, I think 0 works. And I just got a new polygroup, like surrounding everything. Now just go to auto groups again. And now the panel loops. Here in edge loop again, panel loops, polish, let's skip the polish, and just put 2 loops. So this thickness, it's pretty mild. Let's go a bit more. I remember I used 0.025, I think, was the thickness, yeah. So this is pretty good. It's just here in this corner, it's giving me a little bit of trouble, but with some smooth, it goes away. And then, since I had this one, like underneath, it's still got like the, let's erase the, I hide the poly group, I mean the poly paint. And that's it. This is separated, and then I can just take this one and start inflating it. Or like adjusting it to whatever it is that I need. and just sculpt this. Let's go a little bit lower with the resolution. What is this thing? Go down, man. Do I even have? Yeah, let's go way down. Something like this. Okay, so wait. No. That's it. It's pretty simple stuff. I still don't know how I'm going to detail these other parts, these other pieces. But I think this character is pretty much done. Like, it's just finishing this detail part. Oscar has to finish this lower torso. It's pretty much that's it. It's coming along pretty nicely. I really like it. I really like the hands. What he did with the hands. Oh, these autosaves. Yeah, they look really good. Okay, let's do one save again. This actually looks like a heart. I just noticed. It wasn't intentional. Alright guys, so I'm gonna stop it here. Again, thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys learned something. Thanks for your comments and suggestions, and just it's always nice to see you here. Feel free to reach me, and yeah, see you next week, hopefully. I don't know if I might go back to the old schedule.